right, now today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make Haitian Griot, which is essentially just fried pork, but it's much more complex than that. So let me just go over the ingredients that I'm going to be working with today. So what I have here is a whole Boston butt. This is, let's see, this is 6 pounds. I also will be using this marinade here to impart a lot of flavor. The Sazón Total Perfect Seasoning, Goya Adobo. I don't have any Scotch bonnets here, but I do love this hot pepper sauce with Scotch bonnet in it. So I'll be using a little bit of that. If you have Scotch bonnet, of course, use that. Smoked paprika. I have my épis. If you've not seen how I make this, I've already posted a video, but this is crucial. You're going to need some white vinegar, some limes for cleaning, thyme. I'm going to be also adding in a habanero pepper, 1 Maggi chicken cube, and then 1 pack of Sazón. You see that? You see that? You see that? Don't ask me for the damn ingredient list. Come on. Okay, so I actually kind of lucked out because I feel like typically I can never find Boston butts this small, but you can honestly use whatever cut of pork you want. But this is what I'll be working with today. The fat cap on the back is actually not even that thick, and you actually want to keep all of this because all of that's going to be great flavor. Also, this is also a Boston butt that has a bone in it, so you also know that this is a good cut of meat we're working with today. So what we're going to do is go with a sharp knife, and we're going to cut this down into small cubes is what I'm going to do. So let me just show you guys one little piece of what I'm going to do, and then I will go on ahead and do the rest. So let me just cut this here, sit this other piece over to the side. I'm going to cut it in half one more time like so. And then I'm going to cut this into cubes. You can cut it as big or as small as you would like. That's completely up to you. So this is about how small my cubes are going to be. I'm going to go in and I'm going to break this entire Boston butt down, and then I'm going to place this directly inside of this bowl until it's time for us to get over to the sink to start the first process of cleaning it. So let me finish this up. And while I'm breaking this down, I just want to say, you know, I've been really excited about cooking lately, especially when I'm venturing into other cultures' foods. So again, you know, if there's any other recipes that you guys really want me to try that is native to your country, you know, let me know. And if I can find the resources to make it, I will gladly do so. Because that really is what cooking is supposed to be about. It should be fun. It should be learning new information. It's a great way to build knowledge and respect for other people's cultures. And it's also just, it's exciting. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, I find this type of cooking far more exciting than just cooking the standard stuff that I'm used to cooking. This just makes it far more thrilling, so that when the payoff comes out the way you want it to, it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe I made that. And just as an FYI, once you start to get close down to where the bone is itself, don't throw this away. You can put this in the freezer in a Ziploc bag, and then you can use this for a stock later on down the line. So don't discard this. I've now gotten all of my delicious pork here beautifully cubed up. So now we can move over to the sink because this is ready to go. Alrighty, so to my pork here, I'm going to add in my 2 limes, and then I'm going to squeeze the juice off of these, and then I'm going to just leave these in here while I also add in some cold water as well as some vinegar. This is going to help me clean off the meat. Just make sure that the water is nice and cold though. Don't let the water be warm. Fill your bowl up with cold water, and then also a nice splash of the white vinegar. You're now going to go in and give all of this meat a good massaging. All right, party people. My pork is nice and clean, so I have that sitting right here. So in the large bowl with the clean pork, I'm now going to go in with 2 healthy ladlefuls of the épis, which is going to add fantastic flavor into this. I'm going to add 2 of that. I'm going to add in a half a cup of this marinade, a half a cup directly into the bowl. I'm going to add in a few dashes of the Scotch bonnet hot sauce. And don't worry, I'll show you guys what the inside of this looks like before I, mix it up. I probably put in about a half a tablespoon worth. Okay. For my smoked paprika, I am going to put in 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Add this directly to the bowl. Yeah. Just like that. I'm going to be adding in a half a tablespoon of the Goya total seasoning. Half a tablespoon. And I will be adding in 1 tablespoon of the adobo seasoning. Add that in the bowl. We're also going to be adding in the full pack of the Goya, the Saison by Goya, essentially. And then we're also going to be adding in the 1 large Maggi chicken cube. Just give that a crush and place that in the bowl as well. Now let me show you guys what the inside of this looks like, and then we'll get it all mixed up. All right, so this is what we're looking like. We have everything in the bowl. So now just go in and give all of this a good massaging. And yes, my hands are clean, honey. I'm going to wrap this up with cling film and place this in the fridge and allow this to marinate for 2 hours. You can let it go for more, but you really don't have to. And to be quite frank, even if you didn't want to let it marinate, you could still get by, but why not just allow the flavors to build? And I actually didn't realize that I had some whole cloves in my pantry. So I'm going to stick 4 of these whole cloves right into my habanero pepper so that I can put that in the pot. Alrighty, you guys. So our beautiful pork has been marinating for 2 hours. So now I'm going to transfer all of this juice and all directly to my pot. Now I'm going to fill this up with some water because not only do I want to get the seasoning off, but I also want to make sure that I'm putting just enough water to cover the pork, not too much. So that's probably more than enough. So let's take this on over to our pot. Remember, you do not want to put too much too much water, because the pork itself is going to release a lot of water itself. So don't get out of control with adding in too much. I might add in just a little bit more, about right there. That's perfect, because the majority of this water is going to boil out. I'm now going to add in that habanero that I have stuck with the cloves directly to the pot. And I'm also going to throw in some thyme. I'm going to now place the lid on this. Once this comes up to a simmer, I'm going to place the lid on this and then let this go for probably about an hour. Alrighty, you guys, now that this is coming up to a boil, what I'm going to do now is very carefully just give it 1 gentle mix around. And then I'm going to partially place the lid on this, like I said, reduce the temperature and allow this to simmer. I don't want it boiling, but I am going to allow this to simmer for about an hour, coming in periodically, making sure that I'm mixing it along the way. Now, while I'm waiting for my meat to finish cooking and while I'm waiting for that oil to get up to temp, I'm actually going to go on ahead and make up some plantain. I figured, if I'm going to do this, I might as well do the whole experience. Now, all of my recipes in regards to all things Haitian food have been heavily inspired by the one and only Miss Wilson. Now, of course, I've kind of taken my own little take on it and measured things out specifically for y'all, but all of this is heavily inspired by her. And one thing that she says, the best way to get a crispy plantain is by making sure that when the oil is at about 320, which is about 25 degrees lower than what it should be, you want to partially cook off your plantain. Then take it out. Then mash it down with a plate and then put it back in the oil once it's at 350. She also suggests that what you do is that you soak it in water that has lime juice in it. Supposedly, she says that gets it crispy. So that's what we're going to try today. Alrighty, so this oil is reading at just at about 325. So I'm going to listen to what she says. I'm going to put them in here, let them go for about a minute or so. And then I'm going to take them out, smash them down. And then once the temp is fully at 350, that's when I will place them back in. Oh my God. That's when I will place them back in the oil. Not me trying to set my whole house on fire, child. So following her instructions, I have a bowl here with some water that I'm going to put in the juice of 2 limes, just because this one is not as juicy. I have my plantains over there frying. Once they get to be slightly golden brown, that's when I'm going to go on ahead and take them out, smash them down. And then again, she says dipping them in this solution of salt, lime, and water will help them be golden brown and also taste fantastic. And I trust her. So I got that in there like so. And now we're just going to go in with just a little bit of salt. Perfect. Give this a light mix. And now Let's go get our plantains out of the grease so we can smash them down and then dip them in this solution. Alrighty, these have been in here for roughly about 2 minutes or so, so I'm going to go on ahead and take them out of the oil now, but keep the oil on. Don't turn the pan off. All right, you guys, so I have the plantain right here. I'm going to take the bottom of a plate and just mash this down like so that it's nice and flat, just like that. And then I'm going to dip it into the solution right here. Dip it in there. And then she says to take it out and then set it to the side, and you're going to put it back into the oil. I'm going to repeat that process for all of them. Alrighty, you guys, so now that I have them all nicely flattened out and they have been dipped in the lime, salt, and water, I'm going to add them carefully back to the oil and allow them to now completely fry. All right, y'all, this is looking absolutely fantastic. This is about the coloring that I like to have on mine. Nice and golden. You can fry yours darker if you would like, but this is about how I like mine. I don't like mine too dark. So I'm going to go on ahead and take these out, and I'm going to put these on a wire rack so that way any of the excess oil can kind of drain off. All right, y'all, my pork is all done. As you can see, the liquid has reduced drastically. It's looking absolutely perfect. It is tender, but not so tender that it's falling apart, because if you overcook it in the boiling process, then when you go to fry it, it's just going to completely fall apart. So you want it to be nice and tender, but not too tender. I would say the total time that I let it cook in this was about an hour. You know, you can adjust that to whatever you need to adjust it for. But as you can see, this pork is done. It is seasoned through and through. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the pork from out of this liquid, allow this to kind of drain off a bit, and then we're going to now fry it. But do not get rid of that liquid in this pot. We're going to keep that. All of this deliciousness that's down in this pot right here, yeah, you can put that into a little saucer and use this as a dipping sauce. Do not get rid of that. Alrighty, now that my meat is nice and drained, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this in batches. I'm now going to proceed to fry off the pork. Once it is golden brown, that's when you can take it out. Remember, it is already fully cooked. I have my tray right here with my plantain, and I've left some space here on the side so that as my griot is done, I can place that on here to allow some of that excess oil to kind of fall off. All right, y'all, this has been in here probably no more than 2 minutes, and I can already tell you that this is going to be nice and done. Look at that. Look at the beautiful coloring on that. That is what you want, my friends. That is what we are looking for. Look at that. I'm going to repeat that process to all of this, and then it's going to be time for us to fry it on. Then it's going to be time for us to plate it up and do a taste test, because I'm so damn excited I can't even contain myself. Just look at it. Pooh, boy. And that there, my friends, is how I made griot with homemade pickles. If you guys have not seen how I made that, go check that recipe out. Got my fried plantain back there in the back. But I'm really proud of this. And it's time for us to go in for a taste test. Okay, I don't think you guys understand how excited I am to try this. But first things first. Look how tender. 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 I'm going to try it by itself first. I'm going to dip it. Plantain with a little bit of pickles. This little piece right here with this piece of fat in the middle, my God, tastes like pork belly. Dip it in the sauce. Dip it in the sauce. My God. I'm about to mess around and eat this whole 6-pound damn Boston butt.